everyone, today I'm going to show you the engine swap on 140 chassis E-Class. It was 3.5 turbo, it's pre-facelift model, so I fitted the 606 engine in there because the stock 603 was damaged and became knock. It had the fuel consumption issue, and I will show you later in this video why it was. So here is the engine. Engine blocks are the same, so everything fits perfectly, but you have some issues. If somebody will try to do this, I will explain in this video what's issue number one. Issue number one is the fuel pump, which I had to use from my old engine. This is 603 pump, but it should be 603 turbo pump anyway, because 603 NA pump will not work on this engine normally. Pump issue. What you need to do, guys, you need to swap the fuel pump elements, plungers, which is there inside, from stock 606 electronic pump. 606 electronic pumps got the 6mm pump, 6mm elements, and this pump in stock got 5.5. So if you will put stock without any modification, it will not produce it will not produce enough power for this engine. Second issue is if anyone want to keep the cruise control is installed behind the pump, so you need to modify brackets for cruise control, because I had to keep this pipe. You see this EGR pipe. If some people blocking EGR, otherwise you have no problems. You can put it on the stock place, everything is fine. Also, on the other side of the pump, you see this is the control lever. In stock, this ball ends looks I had to cut this lever and turn, so the balance is looking on the pump. Otherwise, in stock, this balance looking on the cylinder head, and the cylinder head is wider because it's got the two camshafts. It's wider, and they are grabbing the cylinder head, so you cannot get the full throttle on this one. Also, you need to modify the throttle linkage. I fabricated the special brackets, so I had to drop the cruise control actuator about 1 inch down. So that's first issue. Second issue, you need to, if you want to keep your cruise control actuator old type on this car, you need also to relocate, not for cruise control, you need also to relocate the for cruise control. I had to use my stock oil filter housing. This is from the 603 engine, this from my old engine. The problem is that oil cooling outlets on this going out from beside, you see. On 606 they are going from here, and there's not a lot of space then for the cruise control actuator. So if you want to keep cruise control, you had to use your 603 oil filter housing. Temporary, I blocked the outlets because I still don't know which hose or tube length I need for the radiator. I had to fabricate, here it is, this 10mm aluminum spacer. Some people on YouTube tells that I had to use 6, I had to use A8. But I had to use 10mm with double gasket, one is here, one is here. But anyway, I had to contact with the intake manifold, so I had to grind a little bit this place. Maybe this is depends from the intake manifold casting. Some people are lucky with that, but some people are not. What's next on this side of the engine? Here is a stock temperature sensors from the 603. This one, single one. This is works for ECU, for engine control unit. So on 603 they installed here on the outlet, on the upper radiator outlet. But here, as you can see, there is no place for that. So I made a plug for the fuel heating element on 606 and installed this is the ECU sensor, engine control unit. This is the emergency sensor when your engine temperatures rise above 105 degrees Celsius. It actuates emergency cooling fans, which are here. You see, this is next one. You had to use your stock 603 2-channel temperature sensor. One channel works for the glow plug relay, and the other channel works for your instrument cluster. Probably this is all on this side. Your hydraulic pump, steering hydraulic fits perfectly, no any modification. The AC compressor fits also without any modification. All that you need AC compressor bracket from 606 because it's hot. It's got the special thread for this pipe. There's a bracket on this pipe. This pipe goes for intercooler. It's got underneath a special bracket. On 603 there is no bracket, so this pipe will lose. Then there is a small modification on this cooling outlet on the cylinder head. As you can see, as I welded some extension here. This is actually a 606 pipe, but my stock hose is not fit there. You see, if I will do it like this, it will bend. I don't want that. Probably I need to weld some 19 degrees elbow on this and it will fit fine. But anyway, I need to know what will happen with my oil cooling lines, because if I weld like this, it will mess with oil cooling outlet, because in future, after startup, I'm planning to run the proper hydraulic hoses from this oil filter housing to the oil cooling radiator, which I will show you later. So this is the issues on driver's side. Maybe some people will decide to modify with the other way, I don't know, but I did it like this. Fuel filter is stock from 603, not a big problem. One more thing, the upper radiator hose need to be used from 606 with W140 chassis. If someone interested, I can put part number in the comments, because the stock 603 radiators are fit perfectly. The stock 603 hose is bigger and outlet on 606 is smaller, so that's a common issue. So next important thing is intercooler. Intercooler, I had to use the intercooler from, I will show you now, W210 chassis from E-Class as well, because it's quite bigger. The stock W140 S350 turbo diesel intercooler is smaller. Here's the old brackets from oil cooler. You see, they are cut it down. They are cut it down as well. So it's about like this and this. I decided to use big intercooler. It's temporary, hang it on the cable ties, but fix normally, not touch the front bumper or whatever. The driver's side outlet also fits perfectly. This goes to here, to this aluminum pipe. This transmission cooling line will move. The problem starts on the passenger side. On the passenger side, here's the intercooler outlet. It goes like this. So you need to use the stock. You see that rubber hose with spring? You need to use the stock om606 for W140 chassis hose piece. You cannot use the rest of the stock parts of this side because it's got the aluminum pipe rounds beyond the subframe and goes here for the small intercooler. You need to fabricate something like this. I will fabricate and put it in my other videos. I will show you that now. That turbocharger outlet, it's here. You see, it runs like this and goes along the frame. I need to go down. Probably I will need to replace the lower radiator hose as well, because there's enough space for turbocharger outlet to run that pipe to the intercooler. I will use from 606 with W140 chassis. So that's my first video. If you have any questions, I will ready to answer without any problems. What was the issue with 603? Sorry for garage. This is some fabrication atmosphere here. So what's a common issue? I had a big oil consumption on this engine. This engine has also been fully rebuilt by me. That's why. I will show you now why. Because turbocharger on the big RPM, turbocharger starting to suck oil from the breather, on these engines, on 603 turbos, you have a special, so you have an outlet is here, and you have a here on this steel cover, which is riveted to the with sealant. You have a oil separation valve with rubber diaphragm. So when your turbo starts to run on the load, it makes a negative pressure which closes that diaphragm and not allow to suck oil. If you want to check your diaphragm, you need to apply vacuum on this small hole, even with some piece of hose and your mouth. If it holds, it means the diaphragm is okay. If it not holds and you see the little bit oil running from here, it means that your diaphragm is already became like a wood and cracked down. On these engines, on this 606 next generation engines, the engineers put this valve outside. So this valve is not stressed under the temperature or heat. So you can replace this valve. This rubber hose is also available separately. This all connections, fittings, blah blah blah, and there's the same connection to the turbocharger. It goes in front of turbocharger. So when you run your engine on the big load to your turbocharger, sucking air from the air filter and also sucking air from the it's make negative pressure from the breather. This valve closes under negative pressure and not allow to suck oil. So that's all. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments or any questions or any suggestions, everybody is welcome. That's all.